Yes, dramatic stuff there in the Formula V race. We have more Formula V action later on here at the Phoenix Park. But right now, forming the grid behind me are the Crossleys. Beautiful cars, these beautiful power from them, and all built in Ireland. Richard Young and Declan Quigley is about to take up the commentary on this race.
The 5-second board displayed, and Crossleys as far as the eye can see. The flag is up and the flag is down, and it's Arnie Black from pole position, with managing director of Crossle Cars blasting off ahead of the customers. Or is he? Because it's Dennis McGall from row 2 that sneaks ahead round the outside as they come down to Dublin Crystal Corner for the first time.
Superb start by Dennis McGall, a former Formula 4 2000 runner in Crossleys over the years, a close friend of Arnie's. The two of them are fighting tooth and nail here. Arnie, a wonderful competitor, a wonderful man to have taken over the Crossle market in the last couple of years, and what a beautiful grid of Crossle 9S sports cars. They're based on the Crossle 9S that was first designed by John Crossle back in 1966, and it's a superb collection that we have out here this afternoon.
And these cars all built within the last couple of years using a 2-litre Ford Z-Tech engine. But Dennis McGall, the first Crossle customer, I think, to put a move on Arnie Black since this class got underway. Arnie not only built them but won in them very successfully. But Dennis McGall, a former Phoenix Park winner in Formula 4 2000 incidentally, and obviously has his eyes on another trophy from the park this year. Down to Dunlop Corner, the end of lap 1, 7 laps to go after this, and battle has been well and truly joined. Third place, Richard Parsons, former hill climb champion, as Arnie Black pulls alongside to try and get that inside line from Dennis McGall as they go down to Dublin Crystal the second time.
Well, Arnie's had it all his own way in the last couple of years in these Crossle cars. There's been no one to touch him, but Dennis McGall, he's some competitor. But I think actually Arnie got a run out of Mountjoy Corner, working his way up the main straight and inside into the first corner. Superb.
And we're told that Bill Gowdy, that's in the orange car there, got a jump start. That'll mean a penalty for him, 10 seconds probably added to his race time. But Bill well down the field anyway. But now we've got 4 cars up at the front. It's Arnie Black in first place, Dennis McGall in second position. Then it's Richard Parsons, the former hill climber, and the fourth one of that quartet, Scottish visitor Brian Sarafilovic, one of the clan Sarafilovic from the Greater Glasgow area, in one of the customer 9Ss. Then it's Hal Catherwood in the number 95 car, then Bill Gowdy, who's been penalised, and then Hugh Webb. But Dennis McGall now getting up the inside as they arrive up at Dunlop Corner, and Parsons as well getting past Arnie Black, and it looks as though Sarafilovic's making a move as well. Is Arnie Black in trouble? Is the pole man suffering from some kind of malfunction? But he certainly dropped 2 places in a couple of 100 metres there, and Parsons now making a bid for the lead instead.
Was developing into a fantastic 4-way dice here, and Arnie's certainly going to have to work for this if he's going to scoop the J. Pollock trophy. It's a beautiful replica trophy of a Crossle 45F, I think it was, 42F, beautiful thing. J. Pollock, a park stalwart many years ago, won many events here, and they're certainly fighting tooth and nail for that trophy.
And if you look a little bit further back, the red car there is Hugh Webb. He's a surgeon who likes driving Crossleys at weekends. And behind him, Steve Lydon, who normally runs the Historic Grand Prix Association, but having a little run out in the factory Crossle just to see what it's all about. But up in front is Richard Parsons. 3 laps gone, and the hill climber leads. Dennis McGall in second place, Arnie Black in third, Brian Sarafilovic fourth, then Hal Catherwood, and the penalised Bill Gowdy.
Billy Gowdy, a famous Formula Atlantic and Formula 4 2000 runner in the 80s, and he's another man making a comeback and showing off his skills in these beautiful sports cars. Steve Lydon, he runs the Thoroughbred Grand Prix Association, and they're bringing a grid of about 20 former Grand Prix cars to Montello Park in September for the Leinster Trophy meeting. So that's a mouth-watering prospect and a mouth-watering sight to see this 3-way dice.
Arnie Black does it again, up the inside to take over the lead. Don't be too surprised if you see his name associated with one of those Thoroughbred Grand Prix cars when they come here. Maybe that's why Steve Lydon is driving Arnie's yellow car today. But Arnie now out in front, down the Coca-Cola straight. Dennis McGall staying in the slipstream. Then it's Sarafilovic. Parsons moves back. Gowdy hanging onto that trail grimly, and they're on lap 4. So at the end of this lap, the race will reach half distance. But Arnie Black the man in front.
I don't think anyone saw Arnie coming there. I think he took the two others by surprise and just sneaked down the inside. Interesting to see Hal Catherwood tacking onto the back of this. Hal is brother-in-law of Richard Parsons. He's in his first year of racing, stockbroker from Belfast, and he certainly seems to have recovered from his exertions in the Hungarian Grand Prix in Budapest, where I met him last week.
Yes, he may be better in a week or two. He's very modest about his driving. He says it's like driving Miss Daisy. As Sarah Filovic tries but fails to get at the inside of Dennis McGall into Dunlop Corner. A very brave move, that. Hal says he's like driving Miss Daisy, so there is a daisy on the side of his car. And we've got another change in the front. It's Dennis McGall in front. It's Arnie Black second. Sarah Filovic third. Parsons down to fourth. Gowdy fifth on the road. And Catherwood watching all this, round-eyed with amazement, I shouldn't wonder, as Black and McGall head up the straight, absolutely side by side. No, it's Black in front again now. McGall second. Sarah Filovic third. Parsons fourth. Gowdy fifth on the road, and Hal, I think, dropping back just in case one of that lot in front gets it wrong and he has to drive over some fiberglass.
What a scrap. I mean, it's we're up to 6 cars battling for the lead now. This can't happen in Formula 1 because they've got big wings that make it difficult for the guys to run with each other into the corner. But there's no problem for these guys out here today. It's super stuff.
Yes, and Arnie Black, I think, has decided enough of this nonsense. It's time I stamp my authority on this race. We're into the second half now, and he's pulled out a couple of car lengths, while Sarah Filovic and McGall and Parsons still determined to sort each other out. But nope, they're all catching up, and the Scotsman is the one who's making all the aggressive moves. Hal Catherwood tries one on Bill Gowdy, but decides that's not such a good idea as they come out of Dunlop Corner, down to cross the line at the end of lap 5. That means we've got 3 laps left to run, and it's still anybody's race.
You see Sarah Filovic up the inside, was slewing under braking, great car control.
And not such great car control from Dennis McGall, who spins and gets clocked by poor old Hal Catherwood. He ended up driving over fiberglass after all, but he's resumed, but they're both back on track. And if you watch now again, McGall taking the wide line, still braking as he throws the car in. Too much power too quickly, round it goes, and stops just as Hal arrives and hits him a bit.
Oh, disaster for Dennis, perhaps showing a little bit of ring rustiness there. He's been out of racing for quite some time. Superb racer, but just left his braking too late. But he turned in anyway. He didn't run down the escape road and just trusted to God and to say what happened. And it didn't exactly come out well for Hal Catherwood.
And that's fairly split things up now, because we've got Arnie Black in front, Brian Sarah Filovic still grimly hanging on in second place, and then a long gap back. And I'm not quite sure who we have in third place now, but it's probably Hal Catherwood. In fact, it is.
Great, or is it? Yes, well, a great result for Hal Catherwood to be up this far in quite exalted company. And Sarah Filovic also has quite a CV. He's a Westfield racer from Scotland. He's won many races over there, Scottish champion in road sports as well.
Yes, he and his brother sharing this nice blue 9S, which has raced in Ireland a couple of times this year. It also appeared at Croft and various northern circuits as well. 2 laps left to run then. Arnie Black in control, Sarah Filovic second. Nobody lapping as quickly as they did in practice. In fact, they're about 2 seconds off what Arnie managed this morning when the weather was cooler, but still putting 155 miles per hour or thereabouts down the end of the straight towards STP corner, which I'm reliably informed feels very fast indeed in one of those with everything wobbling about. Arnie was saying earlier on, he wears glasses and everything becomes a blur at the back end of the straight when you can start going over the bumps. But
well, it looks as if Sarah Filovic has got on terms. He's just coming up. Is he looking? Oh wow, that thing is really slowing under braking. He's just on the edge of adhesion. But Arnie gets on the power earlier, gets a run. I noticed there's a little bit of damage on the left front light lens.
Onto the last lap. The damage to Sarah Filovic's car was a practice one. He had a little bump with Hal Catherwood, but Arnie Black protecting his line into Dublin Bristol corner, getting the tail out, going out of it, but he means that Sarah Filovic gets a little bit of a slingshot on him perhaps as they head down that long 150-mile-an-hour straight down towards the STP Ferry Glen right-hand hairpin, where they have to use first gear, and it's very tricky getting the traction out of it. But Arnie Black still in front, car darting from side to side on the brakes there, over the ripples, turns in, and Arnie gets out of the corner better. The Scotsman putting a wheel on the grass, and it does look as though Arnie Black may very well be an untroubled winner of this first Crossle race. There's another one tomorrow, of course.
Sarafilovic just left his braking too late. He couldn't quite stay with. He's clinging on. Arnie has had the balance of possession of first place throughout the race. Looks as if he can just get through this corner. He's going to be a worthy winner.
And down towards the flag. Arnie Black, Managing Director of the Crossle Car Company, wins the Crossle Challenge race. What could be better? Brian Sarafilovic second, and across the line in third place, it is Richard Parsons, who came back past Dennis McGall, and Hal Catherwood seems to have gone missing somewhere. So there's the result. First, Arnie Black. Second, Brian Sarafilovic. And in third place, Richard Parsons.